Alrighty, just be a few more minutes. Hope everyone's had a good weekend, and yep. See you all in a sec. Alrighty. Okay, microphone in place. Webcam on. How's everyone doing? Hope you've had a good weekend. Unless, like me, you work over the weekend, and this is basically your Saturday. In which case, welcome to the weekend. Anyways, quick cosplay update. I've got one of the front bands of my jacket installed. Oh, camera's over there. Just need to finish slip stitching this one. You can see the needle hanging there. Just need to finish slip stitching the front band of this. Well, this other front band. That's where the buttons are going to live. The cuffs of the sleeves are done. Hey Goblin Hellion. Hello, you're at work and lurk. Just wanted to say hi and have a good stream. Oh, thank you. Yep, I'll give you a shout out in a sec. Yep, and aside from that, I just have to attach the collar. Well, I have to shape the collar and attach it, and then this will be a finished jacket. Oh, thank you. It's been my first sort of garment in a while, so I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I did actually try it on earlier today, and it fits perfectly. I was a little worried it would be a bit tight because I went for the large instead of the extra large. And you know, sewing patterns are a bit hit and miss because they assume you know how to adjust them. But yeah, it helps that it's kind of designed to be a very sort of baggy jacket anyway. Like it's sort of a crop jacket, so it only comes up to my sort of lower ribs. And maybe I'd have made it a bit longer instead of going full cropped, but still super hyped about how it's going to look when I finish. Anyway, let's just give Goblin Hellion a quick shout out. Hellion has 2 L's. I can spell things. There we go. Really should get StreamerBot, Nightbot sorted out, because I know people aren't using StreamerBot these days, so I'll just have to find something else to use. No, it's Touch Portal people aren't using. Really should sort of look into StreamerBot so I can just shout out, like do both shout outs at once. Gobbo, streaming and bots are a mystery. Yeah, this is true. Like, I'm a failed programmer, so I only know how to program a little bit. Anyways, just switch my controller on. If you would like to start up. Oh, yep. So obviously, when I've finished the jacket, I'm going to get to sort of sculpting some latex ears. And I'll make a sort of a full, I'll make a permanent plaster mold for those, so I can just keep making them. I'll also look into sort of packs paint just to paint them, because I mean I have a load of pro key I can use to make it, but it's just not something I've gotten around to using before. Yep. Oh, thanks, Hanan. I'm really happy with how it looks so far. Like, I've sort of got the makeup down. Yeah. In fact, I'm actually sort of, you know, because obviously Nick's going to be running a sort of a sequel to Guild of Icons, so I'll be playing a tiefling in that, of course. So I've been sort of thinking about what sort of look she's going to have. But yeah, let's get to Ace Attorney. So, a quick recap for those who haven't seen the last few episodes. Well, I'll let this play. It's going to recap for us. I won't try reading this dialogue out. Behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry. Oh wait, no, I think it was Detective Sholmes talking. Original character, do not steal. Okay, so quick recap. Gina here is basically like, is Gina Lestrade. She's basically, well, in the original sort of Sherlock Holmes fiction, she's basically, well, he's actually a male detective. Here, she's a teenage girl who's a pickpocket. She's just stayed over at Sherlock Holmes' place, along with the protagonist who live in his attic, because they're lawyers from Japan. It all makes sense in context. Hey Nolis, still not actually here making a sandwich. Hope it's a good one. Yep, and she learned that some documents were stored in the nearby pawnbrokers. Oh, Icky! Icky, you accidentally a capitalism. Is that bad? For 49 months. That's nearly 50 months, which is multiple years. Hope you had a good weekend, by the way, Icky. So anyway, this kid's adorable. She's got a grenade launcher. It makes sense in context. And she's apparently shot someone. Or probably not, because, you know, she'll be innocent, or maybe she'll be guilty, but it'll be okay. Anyway, the party's rogue's in trouble, so we need to get to court. Yep, 49 months of capitalism. That's 7 sevens, and that's just terrible. From that moment, Winterbank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. Exactly, Goblin Hellion. Lex Luthor took 40 cakes. That's as many as 4 tens, and that's terrible. Icky. She's guilty of the crimes, while as several others we didn't even ask about, but her hair's kind of cool, so we let her off. I mean, yes, that's just the universal law of rogues. You have to let them commit crimes because they're very cool when they do it. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene and the questioning. It was just before dawn, before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. of April, 6:21 a.m. Nerohodo's Legal Consultancy. Thank you for the quote, Goblin Hellion. Iris. Exactly, chat. Nanny the fuck. A telegram came, but all it says was, wait at home. Okay, this is Iris, who, not to be confused with everyone's favourite mouse. Good evening to you, Nick. How you doing? As an aside, it's been sunny today after it was kind of damp over the weekend, so heck yeah. Nick, pretty good, full of chicken and salad. Heck yeah. Chicken salad? Was it a Caesar salad? I think you were a bit late for that. Gobbo, would it be good leavening since I'm bread? Well, I guess so. I need to rise. Nick, it was not. Okay, fair enough. Just a chicken salad then. Yeah, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. Why did you need a telegram sent when you were literally just across the street? Like, a policeman could have walked over there in like 10 seconds. It was simply impossible to come back. Okay, we'll take your word for it. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Juno? Poor Iris. She's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. Icky, this has big texting your partner from the other room energy. Gobbo, trembling like a mouse. It is Iris. I don't know, she's super intelligent for it. Okay, yeah, it's Iris. I guess from this we can conclude that Iris time travelled from some sort of weird steampunk Victorian London. Yeah. So, plot twist, she's a Texan. And yeah, her goggles are pretty cool. Sherlock Holmes has her pair as well. And the implication is that she made them. I'll explain everything I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. It turns out it was invented a century early in this setting. Goblin Hellion, they be hell on my nose, but they're so cute. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how that heart-shaped nose clip would actually fit on. Okay, events at Winterbanks. Like, I don't know if Gina's going to have the same outfit, but she has a really cool looking hat as well. And thinking about it, she's got sort of a band with buttons on it, which sort of also suggests goggles, which is a neat little flourish. Okay, event at Winterbanks. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Winterbank is dead. Eh? He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Yes, I had a feeling. You did? You're going to be RB to source out breakfast? Okay, have good breakfast. Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Winterbanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Winterbank, I suppose? I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Nellis, you're back with lunch. What did you miss? Not much. Basically, it's how the last session ended. Gina's been arrested for shooting the pawnbroker. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. He's a terrible lawyer, you see. Okay, Sholmes' situation. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? Oh yeah, Sherlock Holmes got shot. He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris. I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered the Winterbanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot? No. It's all right. His life isn't in danger. Really? You sure? Where is he? Which hospital? Yeah, don't worry, Iris. He's a game mechanic. He's at St. Sinner's. They're tending to him there. Well, that's a great name for a hospital, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it's no worse than being on a ship called the Barrier. I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. Injured Sholmes. It's like a lesser version of Punish Snake. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winterbank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when you disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them. Go. After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. Exactly, Nayless. They've got to get the bullets out of him so you can run ballistics on it. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Sorry. Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Reno. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Yeah, that's the point. Where's Sasato in all this? Where's Susie, Reno? She's at the police, still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Mrs. Atto stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. Oh, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. Okay, Gina's arrest. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? We have established he is not dead. No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. This is all so horrible. The thing is, Mr. Winterbank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no. And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room? Yeah, exactly. How'd you know? It's the only explanation. Yeah, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Reno? Well? What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. Well, damned you. I'm afraid I'll need to go ask again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Junior are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Reno. Okay, I guess, Iris is going to be our new assistant for now. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. You're the worst babysitter, Aronofsky. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me? Ah yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. Oof. Yep. Hanan was right, that looks extremely painful. And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Okay, we got anything to examine? It's spring at last, and the weather's warmer now. But I love the smell of fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Basically, the nose bit of her goggles being heart-shaped. Like, they cannot be comfortable. Oh, how about some tea, Reno? Thanks, Iris, but I'm alright for now. With the green teas that it makes me from time to time, and Iris's unique herbal infusions. This place is paradise for a true tea lover. If you're sure, you know I always have plenty when you're feeling thirsty. Yeah, exactly, Nerlis. It's very pointy. Okay. So we've got the hospital and the prison. Let's have a look in the, okay, there's nothing new here. I imagine we can't really look around here, but let's have a look anyway. Safety for April. Winterbank's Pollen Brokers. Notice, even worse than the keyblade grip clipping into the wrist, and it takes a lot to get worse than that. Walking NPCs. In an Ace Attorney game. This is where it happened then. Last night? Oh, thanks for giving a heathen shout out, Nellis. That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables. But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organised criminals, all dressed in black. Oi, I heard that. It's Inspector Gregson? Oh, Inspector. Good morning. I suppose you ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. I heard he's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Ugh. Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming. Oh yeah, I forgot. For some reason Gregson really respects Iris. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley, and see he has the best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are attending to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Reno's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am. As you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? You thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice? Oh. Why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some. What is Gregson's deal? Ah, lovely. Ta very much. They're really at the spot, your ladyship. I didn't even recognise him like this. Notice how much tea is in that cup. A lot. And apparently it's perfect drinking temperature. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. It's a very small case, this. There's some definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring him before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Oh, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them in the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? How can you possibly know that? Wait. They're literally going to take... The star witnesses are literally a pair of thugs who shot Sherlock Holmes. You know, yeah. That's the Met. I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yeah. They were rounded up pretty quick by the lads from the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Notice the heart doesn't go over the top of the nose then. At least there's that. You guess if it was angled a certain way. Yeah, it just doesn't look like a very... Like, even if it was going over the bridge of the nose, like it would still be pressing right in. And it's not the right shape to go over it. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's been operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have reached an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. It didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but an hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having an emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding. But he'll be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better? Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? Yeah, how do I know? Well, because, of course. Oh yeah, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. Sound logic. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Exactly, Nerlis. It would actually need to be so far from the nose and actually do what that bit's supposed to do. And then it wouldn't really create a proper... Like, it wouldn't be a very good pair of goggles because there'd be a massive air gap. Like, even if it was just supposed to be impact goggles, you don't want bits getting in through that, you know, gap. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley. I report to your ladyship the moment Nairi is out of the operating theatre. Okay, her ladyship. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out of it, sunshine? Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. What's your source, Sonny? I'm a copper and we don't go for favoritism. But he's right, you do treat us differently. It's because of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories. That's why. Oh. Crops up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? Huh? I don't remember really.
that's one of Sholmes's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is that how he put it?
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubles. Doubled, I tell you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Sherlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? What it'd take is one bad word from you, and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson, no, the great detective will say, is getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if it came out in print, eh?
They started a fan club for him, no less.
The old thing gives me the willies. Can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it.
Yep, I too am terrified of becoming famous. But that would never happen, Gregsy.
Every month when a new Rand's magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Ah, lovely. Ta very much. They're really at the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotal.
Oh yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about actually, Mr. Naruto.
Yeah, what is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it till now.
An important message? I wonder what it could be. Okay, important message. You going to tell me what this important message is then? Exactly, Nellis. He's a teetotaler.
Yeah, it's about that young lady that's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off.
Head off? Where?
To Lord Strongart's office, of course. He summoned her.
Oh, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that.
One of the whipstalks took her there in the yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey, and go meet her there.
I'm sure we're going to... Yeah, I'm sure we're going to like what it turns out she was there for.
She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. But I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Okay. Let's have a look around the crime scene then. Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Wait, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? Can't touch anything in here.
Oh, but we were hoping to investigate.
This is the crime scene, for Pete's sakes. No touching.
What's the problem, Gregsy? Reno's a lawyer, you know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations have fallen in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruhodo was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that'll be another matter.
The accused?
If you could show me some representing papers, I'll be only too happy to let you nose around.
Did you hear that, Reno? You need to sign some representation papers. It looks like presenting the detective here with correct paperwork is the only way. Okay, guess we need to come back with paperwork. Damn cops. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think?
We don't intend to share, Sunshine. Not with the general public.
In that case, Gregsy, how about some herbal tea? Glug glug glug. He looks like a mug. Okay, guess we're done here. Okay, so do we go to the Chief Justice's office, or do we go try visit Sholmes? Okay, let's go check on Sholmes.
16th of April, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3.
No, Liz, the cops aren't supposed to be the ones asking for a warrant. It's true. Hurley? Oh. He's not here. Guess he's gone fishing.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Hello, what have we got here? The sport is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh?
Well, I have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Oh, well I'll be begging your pardon then, ma'am. So, a little lady and her curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver, isn't it? Mysterious family, eh?
If that's how you see us, sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive? No less. Hank Hill. Damn it, Bobby. Can't do a Texan accent to save my life. Sorry about that.
It's been several hours since you went in.
Oh dear. Is he going to be alright?
Well, doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anaesthetic, that is.
Oh?
I've heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it'll be fair to assume he won't be back here for several hours yet.
Okay, so I like that the explanation here is they're taking ages to do surgery because he's drank too much coffee.
I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Icky, what is this too much coffee you speak of? Fair point. Like, a morning without coffee is like a TTRPG without tieflings. Oh, poor Hurley. Well, let's look around the place.
There's a notice board on the wall here. Look. Let's see. What does it say? Fourth of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice? Oh, I see. This is a rather odd building, I suppose.
Icky, too much brand coffee. You might as well set up a doctor's appointment in advance. But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so for Mr. Sholmes' sake.
See in a bit, Nellis. Okay, you can't look at the note. Nothing in the waste paper bin. Nothing on the window.
I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. Are for people with leg injuries to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see.
Oh, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been brought here along with his weapons.
That's surprisingly plausible. It could happen. Okay, I guess there's nothing else around here. Let's go speak to Gina.
16th of April. Local prison. Cell 13.
Okay, so Gina's hat's actually, what, the band just appears under it at the back. Interesting. Oh, wait, no. The entire tartan thing is the band. Very interesting indeed. Hello, Gina. Why's she still got the frickin' grenade launcher? Why did they let her keep that? You still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though.
Yeah, exactly, no, let's let her keep it. What are you here for? Ginny?
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we're thinking that we might be able to help you.
Well, you can.
Sorry.
You heard? Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. You know, I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
Icky. Oi, nothing in the rulebook about confiscating grenade launcher. We haven't updated it in a while.
Hey, you think you know me? Pull the other one. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw my chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop on any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny... I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I didn't need a lawyer. I didn't need no one.
She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried.
Icky, just like the fact there's nothing in the football rulebook against forming a human pyramid in front of the goal during penalties. You cannot confirm whether or not this is the case. You stole this joke from a birthday card. I mean, to be fair, that might violate the offside rule. Why are you being like this, Ginny?
Would you have a look at, that's strange. Where's my armband gone?
What's the problem? Something wrong? Don't suppose you're looking for this?
Yeah, but how? And when? How again?
Got a talent for it, haven't I? Diving? Got that little cat smile.
And that's bordering on black magic. And it makes what I was about to say about my armband seem a little dull.
So, what do you want to tell me about it then? Legal representation.
I don't understand, Gina. Why do you send the public defender the wrong way?
You wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all going to be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums, my old life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, you'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. If it had happened to me or not, before and all, been sold out and nearly staffed on the back of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass, dead.
Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it.
Ginny? Don't you trust Bruno?
Nah, I don't.
Harsh. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone.
Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's?
There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me, and you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ATs, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing.
Okay, I know what's going on. She found something she doesn't want to tell Iris. Begone, bot. Luckily you're also mod gossip. Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure? The true reason wasn't something else?
Okay, so maybe if I go to the Chief Justice's office and get my normal assistant, she'll be more cooperative without Iris present. I'll give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? Oh, don't worry about it, Nerlis. When it comes to lies, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Unforgivable lies.
What do you mean before, Gina? When you said you're the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what those unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Ginny, please. Oh yeah? I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. It's a cat.
A photographic print of a really adorable cat.
Found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of the overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Ginny. The white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat, obtained from Gina while interviewing her in her prison cell. I don't think she's going to tell us anything. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lisa Melton. Oh, yep, hopefully my new alert worked there. Okay, let's see. Well, let's go to the Lord Chief Justice's office and see what we've got there then.
April, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office.
Yes, no matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Thank you for posting a link to my stream on Mastodon, YouGoGo. Oh, thank you. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. Yep, this kid's British.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. So, everything is clear with tomorrow's arrangements, I trust.
Yes, thank you very much.
There they are. Suzato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland.
Wait, what did you say?
You return to your homeland? Suzato-san?
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's all this about? Why are you talking about Miss Suzato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what happened about Judy's trial? You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Mrs. Asu, what's all this about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as...
That's not why I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no.
Professor Mikotoba? If I may.
Yes, sorry. Hey, Goblin Hellion. You returning with a sandwich and electrolytes? Heck yeah. The first mutilator.
You must be the defendant. Ryanosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. You too had a sandwich with a burger in it. Wait, so do you mean you have like a burger isn't a burger as a type of sandwich, but there was also bread around that?
My name is Yudin Mokotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yuma University.
Whatever option is funnier. In that case, I choose to believe it was also had a hot dog in it. Notice turkey and monster on wheat here. Heck yeah.
We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it.
As you're aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mr. Zato's departure as much as possible.
No less, with honey mustard and a capricin. Heck yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, for lunch I made a Penn's mushroom pasta thing. And I've got enough left for tomorrow as well, which is great. And my tea today is a berry tea, and I've got an apple and cinnamon one in my flask. Yeah, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Gobbo, mozzarella, pancetta, lettuce, pesto. But you didn't make it, your partner got it from work. Oh, free from work. You're pleased with this exchange. Okay, that's the best job your partner has. One that gives them sandwiches. So Gina's been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yeah, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina? The Lestrade girl. And the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes? An all too suspicious case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, while wasting time on these open and shut cases.
Icky. Would you like to know the job details? Nope, 3 sandwiches is all I need. Oh, they get free lunch on some Fridays or something. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I get a staff discount at my work, but that doesn't really account for much. I guess overall, on payday, when I get double discount, I can get like a deal with a Costa coffee, a sandwich, and a pastry from the bakery for like £2, but that's about it really. Icky, you'll stick with go home 2 hours early on a Friday. That's also nice. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart.
In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence, but I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now.
Of course, Long Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their own truths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetuated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Anyway, I've run out of dramatic music. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me.
There's just one more thing, Long Strongheart.
Which is?
It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her.
A timely suggestion.
Sorry?
The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why'd she do that?
A question you would do well to direct to Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison.
Yes, thank you.
Now then, it is time I was leaving. Good day to you.
Doing that voice really hurts my vocal cords. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Suzato-san about to leave. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Mr. Zato. That's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Okay, I guess we're done here. I've always dreamt of sitting at that huge desk like that and looking important.
Why don't you try it then? Discreetly, of course.
Alright, I will. Tell me how I look. Well, Reno, what do you think?
A little too discreet, I can't even see you. Those giant suits of armor are still facing each other menacingly across the room.
Both these suits of armor are alike. He's just standing there looking at me. Menacingly. I can't understand why anyone would wear such things like that in battle. They must be so heavy.
I expect you'd invent some special lightweight suit if it was down to you, would you, Iris?
I think if it was me, I'd invent a world where people didn't need to fight each other in the first place. Says the kid who invented a grenade launcher. I suppose, to be fair, it's a smoke grenade launcher, so...
Iris, you're a champion.
Well, what do you think? That was a model answer, wasn't it?
She's 10, Ranosuke. 10. And she's leading you around by the nose.
Oh my goodness, just look at all these books.
Yeah, there are books around the judicial systems of all different Western nations.
Even for someone like me, it would take at least 10 days to read all of these.
Just 10 days?
Oh, I was only joking, Reno. I thought it would be fun to play up my genius.
It's scarily believable with you. That's the trouble.
Icky. Oh my god, books. I love the clocks and their mechanisms, don't you? The way all the hundreds of pieces fit together and work as one to me for the hands of a single timepiece.
Yeah, I can imagine clocks are just your cup of tea.
When I was little, I used to dream of one day living inside a clock, you know.
Then you must be envious of the Lord Chief Justice having his office in a place like this, I suppose.
Nope, not really.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's a dream from when you're little. It'd be silly now.
Don't let long, strong hearts heat talking like that.
Okay, anything else around here? On the left? Yeah, it's kind of neat, actually, that they've just sort of given this a left and right side, just to make it look a bit bigger. Okay, I guess we're off to the prison again. In true Ace Attorney fashion, you can tell something's changed when they give you the green text.
16th of April, local prison cell 13. Sorry, local prison, cell 13.
Oddly enough, that voice doesn't hurt my throat anywhere near as much as the actual speaking voices. And again, maybe it's just because I only do it for a few seconds at a time. Notice no Shrooms hiding in the corners. Yeah, he's a bit busy.
Ugh. Hello again, Gina.
This would actually imply she unloaded it before. What are you lot here for now?
To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load that ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look, you can come here as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Yeah, farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie? Well, any of my business? Both Virus and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them? Yeah, that's right, I can. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends where they're so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? What? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies? You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. Oh yeah, that's true. That reminds me. Let's take a close look at this. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks like a little warthoggy. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside the heated Kasatsu blanket when it snowed. Exactly, Icky. Cat. Maybe British cats are different. What's on the back? Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it. 13th February, 9 PM. Article deposited, 1 small box. Earned amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th April, 9 PM. So this photographic print is a redemption ticket. For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem. Yeah, a small box. That doesn't tell much about it, does it? It has to be a music box. Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos. I can't help but wondering. Presumably Mr. McGill had never redeemed the article in question, since he still had the ticket. So isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop? Oh, yeah. If it's something Mr. McGill deposited, we need to investigate. Nullis Wakagi's got a G before the H, just saying. Yeah, my mouth's a bit dry. Okay, updated in the court record. Okay, let's see what Gina's got to say then. That is my last request before I leave. My last request is a judicial assistant. Right, no I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one which Magnus Begilded was acquitted. Hey? The case of the mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Well, obviously we caught you in several. Notice the cat's name is Wagahai. I keep calling it Wahoggy. Yeah. Will you tell us about it now? Icky, Wahoggy Moggy. Okay, the trial 2 months ago. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. the coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
No less. Wahokuichi. Yeah, well, thing is, I lied about an old bunch of stuff.
I knew it.
What sort of things do you lie? What things do you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. Couldn't see a thing. And then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's where Mr. McGilded discovered you?
Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by. When I looked at my hands, I had the cove's blood all over him. I was so scared I couldn't even speak.
You had his blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gino that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight.
Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
Threatened you how?
He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was going to do after the code was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that much, he said he'd let me scalp it before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything.
Here we go.
He said McGilded made you swear not to tell anyone what you saw, but you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud above the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. Icky, if you didn't growl.
Swear to me.
At you, then it doesn't legally count. Mr. McGilded heard it, then dragged me out by my arm. That's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer who had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc?
Do you mean?
Yeah, that's it. The one what the deed took off of me in the window banks.
So the music box disc was there, on the floor of the omnibus?
Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. He pieced up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder?
No less.
Where is she? Where is she?
And the bog trucker told me. I won't mutter a word about it to no one. Okay, what you heard? Yeah, I think I was saying earlier, but like the sort of band on her hat basically looks like obviously it's not goggles, but it has the same visual effect, kind of like cowboys' horns. Because it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and the footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably that was Mr. McGilded. Sorry, that was McGilded getting on board.
Nah, not only him. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that Mr. McGilded was the victim. Sorry, it was Mr. McGilded and the victim. No, listen, we've got to get the music box so we can play it during the trial and stun Van Zykes to get some extra hits in. Oh no, that's a bad... Like, it might help, but I don't think it's a good idea. It might make him turn into a second phase early.
Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
But when I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
And in your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices.
What?
What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Notice, it does that with Gascoigne. You thought it only stunned him. Nope. If you use it too often, if you use it more, like, it stuns him the first few times, but if you use it too many times, it causes him to shift straight to his second form. Mr. McGill and the victim knew each other. So McGilded was lying, as I suspected. Okay, and after the event. I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yep, you're quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two curves from up top ran to get off to get the coppers. Yeah, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, Mr. McGilded asked the driver to do him a favour. Favour? Now then, fella. What I need from you is to take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Winterbanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop at this coat fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. McGilded's conditions. I mean, he's dead. What's he gonna do? Haunt you? What were McGilded's conditions then? Letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw, what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Hey, the fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbroker's hereabouts. And I want you lass to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What, you want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I'll come and fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case it might happen to be delayed at all, you have to go to the pawn shop, Winterbank so it is, and to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend can come along and buy it. Yep, but I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now, if you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good, and one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, no doubt. The coppers? Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it you might say, and what it is that you won't? Ellipse is nuts. Ellipse is nuts. And after you'd gone over it all, I piked it, got as far away from that as I could. No less, you'll be visited by 3 bobbies. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGill had planned it and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. Thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything that what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. Begorded would have... In an heartbeat, you'd have had the lot of us chased out there if you wanted. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. It's established that Gina and a bunch of other kids live in their sort of slums, no less. A bunch of other orphans. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it, you must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favour. A favour? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what? Heard he's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he going to be alright? Sholmes is going to be alright, right? That's what I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I signed that bit of paper, everyone was happy. Is that it? Something like that. Mrs. Atto? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. Gina's representation papers have been entered into the court record. The paperwork signed by Gina's put me in charge of her defence. Showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Winterbanks now. Yep, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. I feel like we've finally cracked Gina. She's up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Winterbanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. To be continued. Okay, 1 hour 30. Let's keep going. This is just getting good. Oh, the last save file from the first case. Sorry, third case. Interesting. "16th of April, 1:26 p.m. Winterbanks Pawnbrokery." You always know when there's something important that's happened, because it gives you an exact time. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to press these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please?
What's it now? You should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers. You know, I'm kind of wondering, do you reckon they deliberately called him Gregson because he's got, like, fried food in his hand all the time?
Your ladyship? How? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little rackabash to sign that? I salute you, that's good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Oh, fatigue. No less.
Paper, but there's no chips in it. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm as fit as a fiddle, your ladyship.
Would it be alright if we investigate the scene of the crime then?
Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through the door behind the counter.
Notice you got a feeling that's the pun you didn't have the background knowledge for. Greg's is a chain of, well, Greg's the Bakers is a chain of hot food vendors. They mostly sell like sausage rolls and stuff, and pastries and other such artery cloggers. Yeah, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Winterbank and Gina. Basically, they specialised in hot foods takeaway.
Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then.
Yeah, exactly, Icky. Hot food. Hot in quotation marks. I mean, some might also put food in quotation marks. Also, they recently got into a spat with Piers Morgan because he was very angry that they were selling vegan sausage rolls. Which is a plus. Although some people think that was actually sort of just a publicity stunt because they both have the same PR firm.
Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then.
Will you be investigating the storeroom as well, Inspector? Icky, they heat up and then leave it under a light. But if they kept it warm, they'd pay different taxes, allegedly. Interesting. Because at my work, we have an actual hot food cabinet. For the stuff we bake fresh to be sold hot. And that's actually kind of interesting. Because of food hygiene laws, hot food actually has to be kept hot for a certain amount of time. Well, and be kept at a certain temperature to keep it safe to eat for a few hours. Otherwise, it gets cold enough that, you know, bacteria can very quickly multiply in it, and it becomes dangerous.
If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend much more time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taken forever. Even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another cause the Yard needs to investigate urgently.
That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before.
So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine.
Come on then. Let us not waste any time. Okay, let's get it examining. There's the article ledger here, Mr. Winterbank's notes, and what's this? It looks as if someone has left a little photographic print behind. Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie. Show us. Wait, is this 15th of February, 10:30 PM. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th of April, 10:30 PM. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1.
Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yep, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Winterbag just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand.
But this photograph of a cat, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out.
Alright, alright. Let the cogs turn.
It's almost the same photo, but the cat's looking up and to the left a bit in the other... Oh, it's one of those things where you have to go cross-eyed. Yes, they're exactly the same. I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
Secret? What do you mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. So Iris, about those two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Winterbag's counter, and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not.
Have another look at them now. Yes, called it. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle though.
What's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Oh, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
A stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently?
Oh yes, that's what Mr. Shrooms showed us yesterday. You see, there it is, just over there.
Oh yeah, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Notice trying to cross your eyes to get them to overlap. You think you got it just before they went off screen again? Yep, me remembering my nose is purple right now. Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know. How stereoscopic prints work. Nerless, all that practice with that magic eye book as a kid coming in clutch. When I was a kid, I tried to draw, you know how sort of old-fashioned 3D glasses worked? They were basically sort of filters, so you could see some. So one filter would stop you seeing red, and the other would stop you seeing blue. And they had that sort of drawing, those drawings with the superimposed red and blue, so you could only see one image with each eye. I tried drawing those as a kid, but I just couldn't get it to work. Yeah, with the red and blue. Out of interest, has anyone ever seen the sort of 80s, 90s cartoon Botmaster? because that had the gimmick of occasionally having 3D sections, and apparently it had toys that came with 3D glasses for it. Have you ever considered, Reno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have 2 eyes.
2 eyes? Shocking.
If you try closing one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see of your left eye, and what you see of your right eye. Notice you never really understood that as a kid. How the binocular vision works. Well, you can see depth because one eye sees everything at a slightly different angle to the other, and your brain just does the processing. Yeah, it's so slightly different. You get a different view of each eye. Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Oh, you never heard of Botmaster. Fair enough. Exactly. And in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges 2 views into one. Did they subtly change the camera position for the right eye thing? I wasn't paying enough attention, I'll be honest. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Oh, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consist of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So if you can persuade your brain to merge the 2 pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints.
Yep, Reno, you're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Oh yeah, because this originally came out on the 3DS, and that obviously used stereoscopic 3D. Effectively, it did the same thing, but it used a sort of, you know those sort of cars that shift as you tilt them? It basically used that sort of technology to get the different views on your eyes instead. Hence why you need to adjust it. Yep, but as long as you have 2 images, 2 eyes, and 1 brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can, really?
How to view stereoscopic prints. Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh, yeah, I'm dying to have a go.
Susato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me and see if you can copy. Make your eyes do this. Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Okay, this would be great out. Let's just link out of context. There, how's that? Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Reno. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when 2 people are staring at you cross-eyed.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one print and then slowly crossing your eyes. You should see 2 overlapping images like this. You try it now, Reno.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose.
Nerless, when Dora the Explorer levels up. Did the print split into 2 images for you? Now the next step. is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try crossing your eyes again. Yeah, I can't really do it at this distance from my screen. The prints slowly merge together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works. I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real. Oh, I could look at it all day. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt. Your turn, Reno. Pretend you're looking at the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle. Like this, is it? There, you managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Reno? They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. Notice why you can't do it when the game keeps moving them around like this, and cheating. Nope, some people find it easier than others. But that's why the contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognise that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here, then set the pair of photographs in this stand at the back hand. It's still amazing, even though I roughly know how it works now. Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. And you can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently. But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But it's more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case. Stereoscopic pictures. I've never even heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. A second white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat. I feel as though I have another print just like this one. Okay, representation writ. I, the undersigned, agree to legal representation by the lawyer named Herenter in regard to the following incident. Defendant, Gina Lestrade. Alleged offender, murder of Baker Street pawnbroker. Date of trial, 17th of April, 10 AM. Attorney-in-law, Rynosuke Naruhodo. Okay, it lets you just do this. So I need to cross my eyes and try to get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. It's such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time staring. Okay. Let's get examining then. The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions from the yard to examine every article in the shop and every ledger on the book of accounts. Every article, but that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely.
We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then we'll have barely scratched the surface. Crime and pawnbrokers. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know. A crime and a pawnbroker.
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Reno?
Yeah, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? Ironically, Iris's voice is actually hurting my throat more. What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Grexy to have a word. Nellis, attorney-in-law, he's her attorney's attorney. Oh no, that's your grand attorney.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yeah, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know. Are you alright, Reno?
Oh, it's just, well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole. But when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came here. Shh, keep it down. Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just here.
Really? Then we must tell Grexy at once.
But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer.
Stuck here? What do you mean?
I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shift. They really have a tough time, the British police.
That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly certain it was the calendar he was peering at. Oh, look here.
Ah yes, a bullet hole. I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably Mr. Winterbag wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Oh, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps? No, let's just follow your mate's example and chuck it in the street so it's some of the cops' problem. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once.
Forget that for now, Reno. Let's examine this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Maybe we'll be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Reno? This child is scary.
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what's a scientific observation?
So you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary looking thing?
Holly and I haven't come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch. Quote number 922. Small child, have you been murdering people? Oh, the colour of the bloodstain has changed. There, does it make sense now? Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change colour, so you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny will say it's bleed and great. No, let's... Aha, it was an alien who was shot here. Yes, just like that one episode of CSI where the paintballers were mistaken for aliens. So, whose blood are we looking at then? Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different colour, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same colour, and you'll know who it belongs to in a flash. It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it? 1 flash or 2, this could turn out... One flash or 2, this could well turn out to be a very valuable clue. Oh, hey, that rhymes. So you must make a note of it in the court record. The blood sample has been entered into the court record. A sample of blood analysed with a special chemical indicator developed by Mr. Sholmes. Different people's blood turns different colours. Let's keep testing and adding to the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure. Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow. Oh, there are all sorts of different colours. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different. I wonder what colour my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again. Yes, that's a folding stereoscope. Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that we were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there. Oh well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this sort of thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I can make money out of these in Japan. It would beat keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. What? Okay, anything else around here? Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said. Yeah, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night, through the little window in the door. Mr. Winterbank, face down on the floor, with Gina beside him. As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make it a thorough investigation. Yeah, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime. Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them. Well, in the words of the great philosopher, Charles Martinet, let's go. of April, Winterbank's storage room. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Winterberg's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oi.
Wait, Inspector.
What's it now, Sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defence lawyer, do you? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before as a thing. I didn't know what to say to her.
So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old. I'm afraid this is a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Babe? Don't trouble yourself on duty, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
I think I might start saying that to customers to scare them. I don't think that went very well.
Why?
Okay, it's that time again. And thanks for the quote, Nillis. What were you up to? 1,105.
Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine. I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yeah. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley. An inquiry into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Okay, let's look at the background then. A gun. This is a revolver. A real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Winterberg's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Reno look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Winterberg with this yesterday, didn't we? Oh yeah, that reminds me. When's the lady from the first case going to show up again?
I shall have to take my own life.
It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Winterberg told us he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Oh, hello, Phoenix Wright. Welcome to the chat. Phoenix Wright with a 0. Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. What brings you here?
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from his revolver. Okay, a bicycle. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuck full of them. I can't believe how many there are. No less. Why, you're not meant to be born yet. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings, look. Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor, and the policeman shuffling about. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. As for the articles in this storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Okay, this must be the, chest that had the documents in it. What is it, Iris? That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this called it. Sorry, Iris, but you asked me you sold it without telling you. We must check inside the box at once. Yes. It was there. Iris's story was there. Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he'd deposit it here, but still, it's a relief to actually see it. Really? Because that's not a very well hidden frown. Iris's manuscript has been entered into the court record. A long, unpublished story that Mr. Sholmes deposited in the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. It's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Poor Mr. Winterbank. He was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once, through the heart. Most likely, the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give rogues a bad name. This must be his blood, then. I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action. Okay, that's not the same blood that was outside then. So, now we know the colour of the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Winterbank's blood. And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add this sample to the others when we've already collected that anyway. The blood samples portfolio has been updated in the court record. 2 samples of blood analysed with a special chemical indicator developed by Sholmes. Iris. Don't worry, I'm alright. Now let's... Something Homestuck trolls. Shh! Don't summon the Homestucks. They could be anywhere. And tiefling cosplayers are a debt to them.
Yep, I'm aware they have that whole, blood, different kind of blood and caste system thing going on. And also they call their vampires rainbow drinkers because of it. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely. Okay, anything else around here? Guess not. Okay, the scene of the crime. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? You got eyes, ain't you? Use them. This is what it looks like, nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh yes, your ladyship, do you allow me to humbly explain? Last night, shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to this storeroom was found locked from the inside.
So it was locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible.
Oh.
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thus wise. Next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, that hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world.
She is still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious.
And I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hands.
No.
Presumably it's the gun that's still
down there on the floor now.
In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Correct. Well, which leaves her ladyship's friend in somewhat of a sticky situation, I'm afraid.
This guy's fish and chips keep making me hungry.
Obviously, my personal opinion is there's some sort of misunderstanding.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Yes, that's why she's on trial right now. Sholmes' operation. Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he?
Thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it.
Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body insensitive.
The whole body? Anesthetized? Is that even possible?
It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide lapping gas for a tooth extraction.
Trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, so I hear. And now the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my.
No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in his system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes round again.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you.
What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Okay, let's try showing him some things then. Inspector, what do you make of this?
What we have here, then. A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yeah, this is the ticket for Mr. McGilded's overcoat. The one that little diver turned up with yesterday.
No, actually, no, it's not.
Really? You think you know better than me, do you?
No, I didn't mean to, Bruno's right, Greg, see? It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted it. Your ladyship.
No, Liz. I'm not coming out of my mind palace until I've solved the case. I've always wanted to solve a case with my eyes closed.
So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold to ask?
This is a second ticket.
A second one?
It seems that Mr. McGilded in fact had another article in storage here at the window banks.
Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. Okay, the second redemption ticket. And this ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
Hey, you mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than one, just the music box disc it seems.
Huh, I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilded deposited another article here of Mr. Winterbank.
Yeah, I can see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue.
Well, yeah, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles, I will. I'll go barking.
Me whenever I have to serve a child at work.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
Sorry. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce and you, sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then?
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves in the front shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yeah, the shelves are in the front, and we'll search them at once. You're wasting your time. There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. That information is not written in the ledger.
Notice, are they turquoise? They're just green. It probably depends on the lighting. Like, how someone's eyes, especially if it's like blue or green, can look very different in different lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I'd call that turquoise. Sort of a greeny blue. Then again, I don't know what things look like on your monitor. Well, I think we should at least have a look just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
And this is getting old. Okay, let's have a look then. We could linger here a little longer, I think. Okay. Oh wait, that wasn't a clue. Okay, do we need to ask him anything else? Gina's representation papers. Okay, nothing there. Notice you always think turquoise has more blue in it than it does. Oh, fair enough then. Oh yeah, let's have a look at this. The Hand of the Baskervilles. How did Suzato-san know the exact title of his unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me. I'm so sorry. Oh right, because the professor who died in the first case. Oh yeah, let's present it.
Yeah. Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest?
Yep, my latest story. It's called The Hand of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. I don't suppose. Will there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just wait its publication with eager anticipation.
You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable.
You're looking to be arrested, Sunshine.
I didn't mean it like that. And even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Okay, nothing there. Okay, now let's go. Okay, let's ask Iris about this. Oh, my manuscript. Mr. Sholmes said he deposited it at Winterbanks and he had. It's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it? I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose. Oh, maybe. It's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines. Yeesh, maybe. Me playing a tabletop RPG. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Okay, let's see if we can find a box then. Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by their original owners are offered for sale. That's right. They've got all their little price labels on them, but there are so many. I wonder if the small box that this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGilda deposited here just over 2 months ago. Even if it were, finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed. There are so many boxes, it could be any one of them. Mr. Sholmes said the pawnbrokers were the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's vault. So perhaps the small box of Mr. McGilda's contained something of great value. Well, if that's the case, he'd have probably kept it locked. So then, we need to find every box for lock and break them all open. Yeah. That sort of misconduct would get you arrested. I won't let that happen. This takes me back. It's been some time since it actually last threw me. Oh wait, there's a ledger, isn't there? Oh, the lamp's broken. That ledger on the counter, that ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn. It's too much to think about. Better set it all and have a clear head if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Winterbank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care.
Okay, guess not.
Maybe I could take another look at it. Mr. Winterbank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now.
Okay.
This is the ticket that Gina brought here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilder 2 months earlier. Article deposited. One gentleman's overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Could that have anything to do with all this?
Okay, we need to find the small box. But where?
This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think, when Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed us to it yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen.
Okay, that didn't add anything. Let's look outside then.
There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Winterbank's.
I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home.
Poor Iris. She's very upset by all this. I'm sorry I was there. I should have done more.
And this is your fault, Rune. So please, don't apologise.
Bye.
It's the criminals who are to blame for all this, so let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
Yes, you're right. It's already been 2 months that we've been taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
When Hallie comes back home, let's have a big party.
That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sholmes is very tough.
Yes. Okay, nothing here then. Anything around here?
The fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Hurley's been working on his disguises recently. He's been dressing as a woman mainly.
Really? Mr. Sholmes dresses in women's clothes?
Yep, you see the lady in that photographic print on the mantelpiece? That's Hurley.
He is quite stunning.
Trans headcanon confirmed.
These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beef steak from the carnival would be on display here.
Harry says that Wacky is a memento too.
What? How?
He tried really hard to get the little fellow to stay on those shelves at first, but he had to give up in the end. Wacky just wouldn't keep still.
Yeah, funny that. It's an unusual way to make use of a huge metal chest as a table for tea and coffee, but it is a very sturdy box, and I've noticed that it's always locked.
Oh, well that's because that box contains some of my most important things.
Which you have no intention of telling me more about, judging from that guarded smile.
I'm sure they'll be revealed when the moment is right. Okay.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, I notice, as if you're about to start.
I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually.
Well, you consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps.
Oh yes, that's a fabulous idea. And a great title has popped into my head as well. The Adventures of the Catty Man. How's that, Bruno? Notice, if that's what she's been calling the cat this whole time, that explains the mispronunciation. She generally does that with everyone's name.
Your beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of your special herbal blends always helps me relax when I'm feeling the strain.
Poor Hurley. He hasn't had a drop of tea today. I wish you could take some to the hospital for him.
And that's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
I'm so close now. I've nearly developed a rainbow smoke grenade, you know.
So you're still working on those colourful but funny explosives, are you?
I tell you what, when I perfected it, I'll fire the first shot at you, Bruno.
What an honour. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. It looks totally different without that enormous machine on it.
Hurley lives in an absolute mess all the time. He never notices when things go missing.
Even Mr. Sholmes must have noticed that a huge lump of metal is no longer there, surely.
Notice, you really think that a British hospital would keep some tea on hand for patients lest they go into withdrawal? You jest, but yes.
There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, paper, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
Yep, Hurley does tend to overload the shelves.
That's one way of putting it.
He wanted to look something up in one of those books the other day, you know. But it was so tightly cramped in, he gave up and went out to buy a brand new copy instead. Yeah, they serve tea in British hospitals, no less. Don't they serve drinks in American ones? Okay, nothing here. Notice. To be fair, it's probably a similar deal with coffee for a lot of Americans. Probably. I mean, they also serve coffee in British hospitals, so...
16th of April, local prison, cell 13.
Gina doesn't appear to be Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute.
Where's it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my.
What? Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse.
No, Liz, you meant as like a medical thing, less just having a feed thing. Oh, okay. You know, apparently in World War II, American medics got very upset with British medics for always giving patients tea, even when they had stomach injuries. Calm down, Bruno. I was only joking, of course. Oh. You had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction. Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Okay, Iris is autistic, confirmed. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight that your words carry. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms. Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown it back his head and guffawed. I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Yes, come along then, Bruno. Come along, Susie. Okay. Well, let's try the hospital again then. Anything new around here? Okay, there's nothing around here then. Nothing here. Okay, where's left then? Nothing here. Okay, it must be in the shop or the storeroom then. The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris. I know. I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists. And you can shake up Japan's lawyers and judges too, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to. Would you mind? Okay, can't show that. Okay, let's have a look in the storeroom then. Okay, there's definitely nothing else in here. Already shown him that. Oh yeah, already showed him that. Okay, I guess there's nothing else to do around here. Did I ask her about this? Oh, it's my manuscript. Mr. Sholmes said he deposited it at the window bank. Okay, yeah, I've already done this, haven't I? Poor Ginny. It's all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean. I'll defend her with everything I've got. So, she'll be alright, won't she? That bad at instilling confidence. Notice you think you found where we are in the walkthrough? If her hints are desired? Yeah, go on, give me a hint. Otherwise I'll be doing this for ages. To be fair, I've got to the final case of the first game without needing any hints, so I think I'm doing pretty well. Some pretty nice crockery. Can't look at the cacti. Not the bird cage. Do we have white cat poster number 2? Yes, we do. So this is the second of the 2 photographic prints of this cat. And it really does look like Waka High. It looks exactly the same as the first photograph at first glance, I suppose. So I suppose that's what's so compelling. Actually, now that we have both pictures, I could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. So I need to cross my eyes and get the 2 cats to merge in the middle as one. Yeah, I'm too far away from the screen to do this. Yep, I've already done that. A bloody thumbprint. Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I have noticed. The red smear, you mean? Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Suzato-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case... Yes, we need Iris.
We should show this to her before we forget.
Okay. We're back on track. Oh, that looks like blood.
I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Bruno. You can leave the rest to me. Okay, purple.
Look at that.
Yes, that's a colour we haven't seen before, isn't it? We must simply add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood and these different colours correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is? I think I have an idea, actually. No, this... Aha! This blood belongs to a Danganronpa character.
Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the colour it turned, but with a little deduction.
That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well?
Notice, actually they have pink blood, but whatever.
Oh, fair enough then. You first, Bruno. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of...
It must be Frost-fired Mason. Wait, I just realised Winterbank's name. Pop Winterbank. Pop Winterbank. Ugh.
Frost-fired Mason.
You don't sound very sure of yourself, the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course I'd never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely frost-fired though.
The victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Frost-fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Winterbanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it all that time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach?
Nullis? Another written-specific pony guess? It's a wonder they haven't had a character in the main series called Charles Entertainment yet. I didn't guess it.
I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time, anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes.
Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope.
Yes, I think you're right, Reno. Very well, let's make note of this. The details of the pawnbroker's ticket for the coat have been updated in the court record. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Winterbank. The blood on it has been identified as Mr. Mason's.
Dong, dong.
I nearly he jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Wintermatter set up such a wicked trap? Notice? The E in Chuck E. Cheese stands for entertainment, apparently. Arcade and crappy pizza joint chain over yet. Oh, yeah, I know what Chuck E. Cheese is. Just from general osmosis. I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Renee? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Okay, let's get going then.
16th of April, 5:41 p.m. Local prison, cell 13.
Oh, Gina, good, you're back. Ugh. The police must have finished questioning her then. How was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Why does Iris sound so cheerful about it? Hey? Oh, didn't bother me.
Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Winterbanks.
Oh, right. Do you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. What's the point of asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it. That's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
Eh? What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. I see.
She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear.
Alright then, blimey, give it a rest for my eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you're innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts we have managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Winterbanks that night. It looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason, and thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose.
Representation in court? We already have the representation papers and other documents we need.
All we have to do is hand them into the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
Nah, don't bother. Ginny?
Rip 'em and chuck 'em, would you? Them representation papers, or whatever they're called. The cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's going to happen is going to happen. And this is one stubborn pickpocket.
We found this in Mr. Winterbank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Eh? Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Winterbank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value and the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the hand of the Baskervilles was really there. And that's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Hey! Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story is the latest Sherm's adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least £5,000. What? So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No, Ginny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't going to sell it. What I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, whatever you call it, was really there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake, isn't that right? Ugh. We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling you that manuscript ain't at Winterbank's. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know, even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It wasn't because of Iris, that's not why I did it. I just want to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Shields was being honest, if he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winterbank's. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy? You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will you? I hate all this chummy nonsense, dear. I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper. I hadn't noticed until now. It's unmistakable. Right there in both sleeves of that overcoat. Oh, some very suspicious red stains. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Winterbank's, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now. Hey, what? That? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets.
Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it that would appear to be blood. Eh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. It all looks the same to me, blood. And they all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. Here, Gina, look at this. No tap? I wasn't saying you could have it. Oh, weren't you? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, see? So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. Gina, I'd like to thank you for signing these papers. If you want to thank me, you can do it once you got me off the oak. Alright then. Wait, what? Shouldn't she be thanking me then? You know what, Mr. Naruhodo? It ain't good manners to expect thanks if you do someone a favour. I know that. She's as tricky with words as she is with her fingers. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. You what? But blood, Mr. Naruhodo? You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splashed from Mr. Winterbank when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Hey, take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I'm gonna shoot. Purple. Oh my. What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black colour of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple colour, which matches one of the samples we'd already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. You had the purple blood. Oh yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What are you on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means that the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi, would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half the story. Okay, the truth about the omnibus case. We can see it now, the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilda's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant says this in his testimony. No, I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to stop worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from Mr. McGilda trying to pull his victim to his feet. No, if that's what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of his coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splashed all over Mr. McGilda's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough. But there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. It's the final case of, is it the second game all over again? Mr. Naruhodo, that horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Uno, did you believe him though? Did you believe Mr. McGildy was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
I mean, to be fair, I think the sword you're carrying about is probably a bigger weapon. You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Rhinosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief. Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly.
Exactly, Nellis. The power of friendship and this big sword I found.
What's so funny, Gina?
Cool. Sounds like in this Empire of Japan you come from. Everyone must be so soft. Well, come on. Look at the mess that's got you in her. Believe in that bog trotter?
Yeah, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free.
Oh, good thing you died then. Well, at least you learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one. Get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip 'em up and chuck them away. You really sure? That's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now, Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me I can believe in... And you're telling me I can believe in me after that? Not likely. Sorry. And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Notice, you are the one in the cell though, Gina. It's true. Well, Mr. Narihide,
A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his client. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened.
Yep, we can trust her.
Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Hey, you off bait?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
No less. And then I saw this case, and now I'm a believer. Exactly. Quote number 258. Trust the con artist. Seriously, Mr. Nariodo? Didn't you hear all what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off my tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why do you even trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there's more to this life than you yet realise. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Eh?
It is true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side.
What do you expect me to say to that? Oh no, she's crying under the hat. And it's decided. I'll take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern lot are I don't know what you are. I don't get you.
Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it. I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Mrs. Atto?
Somebody's there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What? Blimey, you sharp, eh?
Oh.
Blimey, you sharp, eh? Suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts like the art of stealth I heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Gregsy?
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation?
Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was just after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier.
Of course you did, officer. Of course you did.
That's all it is. Nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio. All the best, bye and bye, bye. Wait, bye and bye. And that's a lot of farewells. And not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
But I want to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will, well...
Emergency?
Lord Strongheart? Nothing. Forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
Alright, Gregsy, if you have to, but let's chat soon.
Delighted, charmed, can't wait. If you please, my pleasure. That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere.
Gregsy's so funny, he says such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl.
Freezing. Not bad to pass the Met, but...
But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court.
I must attend to the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Atto.
I haven't stretched all, evening. Can't escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. 16th of April, 11:13 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today's been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested, all on the back of news that her father's fallen ill, and she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task?
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I'd be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel like I've learnt something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it'll all become clear, that all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way seems sometimes dark.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry, I what?
Oh, no, yours nothing. Unimportant.
Okay, tomorrow's departure. Do you know what time you'll leave London in the morning?
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 AM.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realise why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but
every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. Okay, one final task.
If you mentioned one final task a moment ago, what do you mean?
Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What's that? Some huge bundle of documents?
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The McGilded case?
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Winterbank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about this case for you.
With everything else she's had to think about, Suzato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Suzato-san. I'll do my best to use it wisely.
Notice? The hell is this? It's a blank screen. Wow, it lit up. Huh? All right. Yeah, because the tablet.
You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
I can speak out loud. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Notes collated by Mr. Zatter about the McGilded case that we worked on 2 months ago. Well, it's getting rather late. Time to analyse them. Okay, omnibus murder. Case summary. Victim found deceased on the last scheduled omnibus of the day after a stab wound to the abdomen. Details of victim. Name, Mason Milverton, male. Occupation, brickmaker. Domicile, East End of London. Trial summary. Defendant, Magnus McGilded. Prosecution attorney, Lord Baron von Siegs. Defence attorney, Rhinosuke Naruhodo. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, a spark force witness's testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Suzato-san, I
wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait, there's something I need to say.
Yeah.
What was that?
A secret technique of mine. The Suzato shutdown.
Shutdown?
Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Suzato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible, but I forced myself to close my eyes, and as the cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. of April, the small hours, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind.
No less Rhinosuke just going to sleep upside down like a bat.
Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed.
Thank you so much. It has been an honour.
and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell and Godspeed. Oh. My dear madam.
Okay, completely the wrong voice there. Still, I guess Sholmes is okay. That's nice. Okay, so we're up to 3 hours 25 minutes, so I think I'll call it here. Yep, I've already saved. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be brave. Right then. So yeah, let's find someone to raid. You have a good one too, Nellis. Thanks once again for moderating. Who's live then? Okay, who isn't live? Okay, another Yam streaming some more Far Cry. Alright, and I think that's basically the only person I feel comfortable raiding who's live at the moment, so let's go to the Nether. Yam. Okay, good thing I finished here because my voice is starting to go a bit. So yeah, I'll be back again on Wednesday with more Ace Attorney. Obviously, I should hopefully finish my jacket soon. Just got a bit of... Oh wow. Thursday I'll be on Keith's channel. That's KNSD. If you just want to check that out, if you well, there's a link there in the chat, and he'll be running Lancer. And my character's mech was blown up last session, so we'll see how that goes for me. Friday. Oh yeah. Friday's going to be. I'll be on Nick's channel for his new actual play Uplift using high magic low lives. I don't want to talk too much about my character because spoilers, but I'm very excited to play them. It's basically super raid about to go through, so I'll stop shilling that, and we're going to raid in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, and if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. You know, post you know, comment in the chat. What's your favourite Ace Attorney game? Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, you're still my favourites. Have a lovely whatever time of the day you're watching this VOD.